Sundra, thanks so much for taking a few minutes to sit down and have a conversation.
Happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Oh, that's great. So I'm just going to dive right in because you're managing a big portfolio in terms of transportation. We're midway through the contract season, and I'm just sort of curious of how it's been so far this year, this contract year.
This contract year, I think, has been interesting. I think we all kind of came into it with high hopes, right? Back in the May timeframe when we signed, and since then we saw some changes in the market, in the pricing, right? We obviously have had some disruptions that we continually are dealing with. So, I think the carriers, at least what we're seeing, have taken, a harder stance in what they're providing to us, and what we like to do is have strategic partners, and we really value the relationships of the, our carrier partners. So we try to leverage that right through, the negotiation cycle and just, through the entire year. So, I think it's very market driven right now. So, we saw rates go up. Now we might see them come down. We had a temporary disruption. Our rate's going to go back up again, right? So I think there's still a lot of uncertainty, to be honest.
So you mentioned, looking for partnerships, and I think you're referring to your partnerships and your ocean carriers, and I think that's important. And I think there's partnerships at all levels of the supply chain. So what do you look for? Because I say this because I see a lot of people look at things transactionally. Mm-hmm. And at Cargomatic, we very much value the partnerships and the relationships. But I'm always curious as to how others see, and you mentioned partnerships, mm-hmm. So how you see partnerships. What does that mean to you?
So partnership for me, for the folks that I work with, it's really having that customer service, right, mentality, being able to pick up the phone and call a person, not get routed to a customer service line, let's say, and dealing with multiple folks, just having that tap in, right into the organization, to get answers, to get assistance, to get help, to just feel like we're valued, right?
Fair. Yeah. So you don't feel like someone's just taking your money and not paying attention. Exactly. And so do you use that in your process of identifying who you're going to sign contracts with?
We do, and we don't like to be transactional. I mean, we always want to, kind of assess who's out there, for benchmarking purposes, but also to see, is there other relationships that we should take advantage of, right? But we want to be important to the partners who have continued to support us, right? And we look at how have you supported us throughout the year? How available have you been to us? Have you gone, above and beyond? Are you adding value to our supply chain? Things like that.
So, and by the way, at Cargomatic, we very much value and appreciate you as our partner and our customer. But I'm curious, therefore, are there things examples or something that partners of yours have done that you're like, wow, that shows me that they really get it. They really care about us.
Well, I mean, I think first and foremost, again, I go back to kind of the customer service, but response time, right? Being able to get an answer within same day, 24 hours, or at least hey, I heard you, it's taking a little bit more time to get that response, right? Other examples, include our leadership wants to get together and have a candid conversation. How quickly can we make that happen? Mm-hmm. Can we have a surge in volume all of a sudden, and I know we didn't contract this, but we need to get this covered, and we need to get it covered quickly. And the carriers have picked up the phone, we've called, and we've got that covered. Same thing on, let's say, on the drayage side. Right, we've seen, especially over the past couple days, with the slight disruption that we had, our dray partners came through for us in a big way, and really we got containers pulled quickly, and there was no question, and it was nice to see that.
No, and I can see why that would be important to you. So it makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
So what do you see going forward? What's your predictions in?
Let me check my crystal ball.
Yeah, come on, because the rest of the world will follow what you say. So
yeah, right. Honestly, again, I keep going back to, I think it's, what's happening in the market, what's happening from a political standpoint, what's happening from a geopolitical standpoint, is a lot of these key drivers. And I think because of that, there's still uncertainty. We'll come into, January, and, we'll start negotiations again. And I think we'll all go into it with the hopes that we can, we want fair markets, we want the service levels, we want the capacity, and hopefully very few disruptions.
So I'm just curious, because you mentioned both political and geopolitical issues. Does that affect at a bigger level your buying and where you source from? Do you rethink based on how you see the world?
Yes, we do. We do. And similar to how we have a diverse carrier portfolio that offers us more flexibility, we have a diverse sourcing strategy as well that covers all areas, from China, outside of China. And we see a lot of expansion outside of China, into Southeast Asia, India subcontinent, into Europe. Just in case we need to pivot, right? We want to start building those different supply chains, should, there be some disruption, right? We want the options. It's important for us to have our product there on the shelves for our customers and our projects.
Yeah, no, it makes a lot of sense. And so that optionality really becomes very, very key to you, I guess.
Yes.
No, that's awesome. Yeah. So, okay, well, I really do hope that, your sense of the market and what's coming is going to, well, I guess we'll see.
We'll see. We'll
anyway,
see.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us.
Again, thanks for having me.
Perfect.